Welcome to the show, paranormal parley, chat to make you glow, talking food and sometimes rude, however the live stream rolls. Amazing mods with lightning rods to keep out all the trolls. Fantastic.
Hey guys, got some music on. Hold on. Music. That's hello to everybody. I'll put the comments on the screen. Oh, look at me. No efficiency whatsoever today. Hang on. Time is it? 2 o'clock. So if I go back, I'll go back to me putting the kettle on. So Pump in the house. Hey Pump. Caroline, you're making me feel guilty, Caroline, for going live last night. You are a treasure. You are an absolute treasure. What's this here? Just crow in the chat. See who's here. Pinky in the house. Yes, we know. Talking about Joe's video. I did share Joe's video out. I knew it would be pricey, but that's ridiculous. I'm sorry if I missed anybody. Just yell at me. Debbie, lovely Debbie. 2 lives. I know. I know. I sort of. I don't know. I think it's because I'd said I'd do one on Friday, but it's probably not the best day to do the extra live for any of us. Actually, I feel as though I've just been live. You guys probably feel as though I've just been live. Pam, hello. How you doing? A lot of stuff planned for this. No. So it's September, October, and December. It's all underhand. It's all in hand. Yeah, Pinky's got a new video out. If you sub to Pinky, go and check her out. Hey, Shadow Mice. How are we doing? No, it's Carlo. It was just a impromptu live last night to make up, because I'm not doing Wednesday night lives anymore. So I'm still doing Tuesday afternoons and Saturday afternoons. There'll be a random live elsewhere in the week, as and when. So, main thing I did last night was talk about my Chariots of the Gods video. I have put a short up. I'll play that trailer in today's live as again. If people haven't seen it. Yeah, what I'll do, Pinky, is if one of the mods can remember towards the end of the live, if you put Linky's link in the chat, Pinky's Linky, then people can go, because I'm not aware anybody's live after me, so you can go and check Pinky's video out. Awesomeness. Yeah, I it's one or two that went in last night. I've decided to finally sort of jump in and do my Chariots of the Gods series. So I've had a brief trailer on the live last night. Like I say, I'll play it again today. I've got a short up as well, and it'll be a long running series probably. But the first one will be an introduction as to why I'm doing it and what the philosophy behind it is. Me finally taking a chance of something I've been frightened of doing for a year. I've finally decided, no, stuff it. I'm going to do it. Because it's not just about the book, it's about... And I have had feedback from different people already saying this is amazing. You know, we should be talking about stuff other than, just what we talk about, extending the topics. And it doesn't matter if things... this will make more sense when I've explained it, but it doesn't matter if things are sort of way in the past and can't necessarily be explained. We need that sense of wonder. We need people excited about the topic again, I think. And I'm hoping this is one way it'll at least provide that for some people. And me, to be honest. The Chariots of the Gods is a very divisive book. Some people love it, some people really don't love it. The author himself is quite controversial, but this isn't a blow by it. I am using Chariots of the Gods as a framework, but it's not as directly on Chariots of the Gods itself. It's about the ideas behind it. It's about looking at all these different topics, and it's about looking at the response that the book had, positive and negative, any developments since, just talking about what we want to talk about for a change. Let's bring back some wonder, let's bring back some mystery, let's bring back some, whether it's ancient aliens or folklore or all of that stuff. I'm tired of not being able to talk. I'm not feeling as though I can talk about it, so I'm talking about it now. So, he did write more than one book. Yeah, I'll get to... Do you want me to go through what everybody else is doing, guys? Joe's video. Omar. I don't watch Omar unless somebody's debunking him. Don't even bother. You don't have to have read it. It's not about the book directly. It's about the ideas behind it. I think it's a great way to set fake this and fake. The thing is, and this isn't me saying that the ghost investigations aren't important, because absolutely they are. But they are in the here and now. And I see a community that is starting to get a bit battle worn with them. And, maybe if we can get... whatever the paranormal is you're into, whether it's the ghost hunting, whether it's aliens, whether it's cryptids, whatever it is, and I hear it across the board from content creators, on actual videos. Live streams do great. It's a live stream community, and that's fantastic. But content views are down. I think for most people, content views are down. Whether you've got 50 subs or 50,000 subs. And I think it's because it's people need to get excited about it again. And maybe if the people get excited about it again, those who aren't still, maybe you can look at the ghost investigations with fresh eyes and different perspective and just enjoy it again. I love new things all the time. Do you know it's kind of why when I start something, I end up doing a load of other stuff as well, because I start researching and I just keep going and going and I find a different topic. I did that with Houdini. I'm doing the Houdini video at the moment and I found that one about the Witch of Lime Street. I thought, I've got to do a video on that. And I've done that before. I was going to do the history debunking as one video, and that's ended up being an 8-part series because I just went down the rabbit hole of the Victorian era. There's so much stuff out there, and there's so much stuff in the past. When you see the introductory video, I'm starting it with me saying we did not invent the paranormal. We need to remember that we did not invent the paranormal. It's been there for hundreds, for thousands of years, for millennia. And people have been fascinated by it for that long. We need to be looking back at that. Remind who. I have not watched No More video in a long time, but I did see that. I haven't watched it, but the Shape has covered the fan in his last video. I really don't like Ancient Age. Yeah, that's kind of the point. It's not just about aliens. I'm not just doing aliens, but obviously the core of Chariots of the Gods is the aliens. But there is an abundance. There is a wealth of research of artifacts on that, again, have stretched back thousands of years. And why shouldn't we look at them? Why shouldn't we look back at the past and try and understand what was going through people's minds or what they were experiencing at the time? Battle worn is an accurate word, I think. I respect the debunkers, but they're a bit on the wonder side of things. Actually, I do know one or two debunkers that aren't, but they're like me. It's like almost don't mention anything else that. I've already said this online, I think, because I was introduced to Chariots of the Gods by Crow Judas. He said, read this book, Sarah, you'll love all the stuff that's in there. And so I downloaded it, I put it on my tablet and I downloaded it and I thought, well, I'll read it bit by bit. And I literally started reading and I can speed read. So I literally sped read it on the first day. Because that very first introduction chapter where he says not everybody's going to like his book because he thinks outside the box. He thinks about things differently and it dares to approach subjects that other people won't. Even at the time, it was 1968 when it came out. But yeah, it was recommended to me by Crow. I'm always learning, but I'm always forgetting to. I have that problem, Debbie. Seriously, I do have that problem. But I think if you can find a subject, whatever the subject is, it's a bit like that old joke, isn't it? You can you can't remember what you did yesterday, but you can remember lyrics from 1985 or whatever. We remember what we really like. We remember, or at least remember the main thing of the stuff that really fascinates us. So yeah, it would be good, and I think we need the debunkers. I will champion the debunkers all day, because I did a video 2-3 weeks ago about Sam and Colby doing an escape room and a board game, and I said at the time, I need to see how this progresses, because I don't know if the paranormal becoming more and more commercial is a good thing. And I understood why Sam and Colby did it, and I think they probably did it for the right reasons, because they've got to think of the future. They're not going to stay that young forever. I think it's good business sense. But I thought, well, how will this have a knock-on effect And then I do a video on the house that's used in Poltergeist being done as a B&B. You've got Simon Colby buying the school. You've now got Matt Nelson buying the Warren house. And so this is escalating. You will see more and more of the questionable channels invest in this sort of thing. And I knew they wouldn't charge a small amount for how much it was going to be. I mean, people like Joe would have been looking to find out as soon as they could how much it was going to be. And he won't be the only one. Everybody will be looking at it either out of interest or, see whether it's feasible. And that is an outrageous amount of money. And if you are a content creator, you're paying more because you basically have to be verified to actually be allowed to book it. Over £2,000, you're basically talking about £2,500, and that's before you travel or anything like that. You're basically talking about £2,500 for one night. No regular ghost investigator can afford that. People overestimate what people make on YouTube. There's a reason people fake content. All right, so the people who can afford that, who don't get it for free because they're mates with Elton and Matt, they're fakers anyway. So the real investigators, very few and far between of the real investigators are going to get onto that property. I ranted more than I was planning on there. Sorry. Are you talking about Chariots of the Gods pump? Yes, it would. It would. Architecture is part of it. Internet Archive released federal papers on AIDS. I've not had time to review them. I always hate saying stuff like this because it makes me sound like a conspiracy theorist, but to me it's logical. The powers that be are going to know more than we do, one way or the other. So I honestly believe that. Looking at ancient Egypt. And it's Southwest. Yeah, I will be looking at some of Egypt. Egypt's been. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of who built the pyramids because it's being done to death. I mean, I probably will be mentioning some things about Egypt, but especially in North and South America, and some of the ancient buildings, especially in South America, but North America as well. There's a lot in terms of architecture. Mike, in the house. And don't forget anything. We know you now. No, you got a mind like a steel trap. The door left open, if you may. I read it decades ago. Yeah, I don't know how I missed it. I honestly don't. Because as you'll hear in the first episode, and I think I've said this before, I had an encyclopedia as a kid that I read from cover to cover multiple times. And it was about everything to do with ghosts and cryptids and folklore and aliens and everything. I can't even imagine what would have happened if I'd read it as a kid. But I think I probably read it at the right time. Because it really helped me sort of think around the subject. Terry, hello! Crying the chaps. People's means are Nazi. They come to mean ancient people. But the word itself is Navajo, meaning enemy ancestors. The word Navajo. Yeah, I'll probably be covering. I'll definitely be covering North and South America and the peoples and the architecture, but probably also be covering the migration because there are things have been found to suggest that people were already there before the migration. I think with conspiracy theories, Pompits, you know, that's what I mean. Is I sometimes think sometimes it's logical to think it's possible, and sometimes it's going around screaming the Earth is flat is a bit. Some of that they go so extreme. Um, Aliens like sea suffer. That's why they gave the first humans a recipe of making white chocolate. I knew it wasn't of this planet. No human being would make white chocolate on purpose. Your cold pizza. That'd be fascinating. I'm hoping so. And like I said, I mean, I'll still be doing my other content. I've been planning this since Crow recommended the book, actually. But I've been thinking, is it going to affect my channel? Blah blah blah. But I've got to the point where I want to do it for me, and I know, for example, probably 90 to 95% of my chat will have no problem with me doing it. I suppose it's how it's received on a wider basis. Debbie. So I'm drinking lukewarm coffee. That's not good. I might have to put the trailer on just so I can boil the kettle. Coffee. I just can't. And I'm still trying to get over the fact that even hot, John Boy had a mushroom and tuna pizza last night. I'm like, I like mushrooms, I like tuna, but who puts those two things together? That's an alien. I've seen Men in Black. I've seen how, for example, aliens work for the post office. Maybe they work for pizza places too, fast food delivery, when the silly recipes. I love the unusual. Me too, and that's also partly it, Pam, is. But I think we need a sense of wonder. We need a sense of mystery. I don't believe we need everything explaining, because that's what keeps us going. That's what keeps us wanting to find out. We don't want all the answers. It's, what's the point? I mean, I want stuff explained. I do. I'd like some answers, but I'm not bothered about everything being solved. And it won't be solved in my lifetime anyway, so I'm safe. A cold pizza for breakfast. Mike, why? Talk about the unusual and the different. Cold pizza for breakfast. There's somebody else who does that. That's just wrong. Who posted a picture? I know that's nasty. Mushroom tuna pizza is a waste of calories. I just don't know who thought I'm doing it. I could eat a tuna pizza. I don't tend to have fish on pizzas, and I love tuna. But I could eat a tuna pizza. But I don't know who thinks, what should we put with the tuna? I don't know. Let's put mushrooms with it. It just doesn't make sense to me. Mushroom. Yeah, thank you, Terry. Mushrooms and tuna, weird. Oh. Laura, don't you join in? Why do I eat breakfast? Let alone cold tuna, cold pizza for it. Yuck. Call me picky, but I don't like congealed cheese. That's what puts me off. Oh, John Boy posted his pizza. I forgot to look. I think he did say. I think he did like it. I'm sure when he did his second live yesterday, he was having some of it cold. Another one. Sorry, my chat's jumping. Salami or cheese on pizza isn't strange. Oh, I like pepperoni pizza. You gotta have cheese on pizza. Come on. Well, but hot cheese. Hot cheese. Debbie, don't encourage her. Uh, sorry, drinking coffee. Won't be a sec. Hot cheese. There you go, Mike. Said who had cold pizza for breakfast. Hot cheese. Free. 26 minutes. Oh, I've been waffling. Honestly, shocker, right? I've been waffling. I've just been saying about the Chariots of the Gods series and actually I know what I stopped talking about. Yeah, all that'll happen with this thing with the Warren House is you're going to get more and more of the big fake channels doing the same, and it's basically turned the paranormal into Disney, like a theme park, rather than it's going to be taken even less seriously now. Plus, I think Joe says it in his video, but I'm sure the Warren's house isn't even reportedly haunted. I'm making real Italian pizza and a breakfast pizza today for lunch. See, that's the way to do it. Thank you, Cree. Thank you for bringing some sense to my chat. Hot pizza. Hot. Oh, I've got hiccups now. I'm not being notified. I'm having this thing where, because I missed the first 30 minutes of one of Raven's lives this week, and somebody said she was on, and I thought I didn't get a notification. When I looked at my notifications, I had one, but I hadn't had any ping or anything like that. So, I mean, I saw your comment. Seg did put the notification out earlier in the day for his. I think Crow's was just 30 minutes in advance. And I don't know if I shared Seg out, actually. I did share Crow out on Children of the Crow, my Facebook, and I think I did it on my channel. Yeah, it's obvious that it's going to be high, but over $2,000, and then verification fee as well if you're a content creator. Got to get the money back, haven't they? Order hot chocolate. I mean, I know that I also keep saying that I get it if you're an investigator and you want to put your investigation up on YouTube. You're going to get more clicks and views, which everybody wants. Whatever they say, everybody wants clicks and views. We all want clicks and views. You don't run a YouTube channel to not have any clicks and views. So I get that, having your location as the Conjuring House or 30s Bloody Drive is probably going to get you more views than somewhere that nobody's heard of. But I would love to see more. I've said it before, where I know I'm lucky here, but where I live, and I think Laura said this about where she lives, I could go out to 50 locations here and not pay a penny. All right, majority of them would be outside, or as good as. But I could go to a lot of locations here and investigate without paying. So, but the big names, they're just going to get bought up more and more by people who realise that it's that old thing, isn't it? If they think they're going to get the people paying, they're going to charge it. Something's worth as much as somebody will pay for it. But it's going to price out even more the smaller and genuine investigators who take their investigating seriously and don't fake anything. YouTube server support must be on holiday. YouTube is having got a lot of glitches at the minute. We've got, I don't think it's in my chat, but both Beardos and Crows have got the name thing, where it's the @ sign. We've had these. I've only experienced it in Ravens, but where you type a message in and it says not sent, and you have to do it 3 or 4 times to get it onto the chat. Sometimes people will recommend to, even if your notification is on, to turn it off and then turn it back on again. That can sometimes. I mean, for example, I don't even count how many channels I'm a subscriber to. So it could be that, it acts as a little reminder as to who you definitely want to get notifications for. It's getting really bad. Like I told Kenny yesterday, I missed Kenny's live yesterday. I wasn't notified on the last 2 members live. So many people are live and I get notified, but they've been on for a while. Like yours, yeah. Oh, it's that happens all the time. It's not good. It's not good. Notifications are usually a few months late. Oh yes, I've had them a day or 2 afterwards. If they get the Conjuring House, yeah, whoever gets the Conjuring House, I don't think it matters who it is. That one, I think, is going to be insane money if that falls into the wrong hands. So, because I think, like Joe said, I don't think the Warren's house is even supposedly haunted. Imagine the Conjuring House, especially if somebody managed to get that fairly quickly. Probably wouldn't manage to get it quickly. I don't keep up with the Conjuring House much. I just know the basics, but because you've got the new movie coming out, which I know is the Smurl story, but it's still called the Conjuring movie. So yeah, I think the Conjuring House will be the prize now, especially if people see Elton and Matt get away with charging that money. It'll be free game for everybody. I would not pay anyone to ghost hunt. The only place, if there was somewhere that I personally really wanted to go to, and I can only think of one place, and I think it's impossible anyway, and it's like thousands of miles away, and I'd probably need to be a millionaire to afford it, but I would love to, I don't know why, but I would love to do one at somewhere like Alcatraz. But other than that, yeah, like I say, I'm surrounded by sites here. Don't even need to go far, I just need a bloody car again. I was seriously shocked at what Elton and Matt were charging, knowing that people struggle to pay that kind of money. Yeah, that's the other thing with me. I also think it is that they're charging it because they need to make the money back. They want to make the money, and I think that is priority. But it ends up being a certain amount of gatekeeping, because say 99% of the people who are going to be able to afford those sorts of prices are going to be the fakers. So, getting genuine teams in there is probably not at the top of their priority list. So that does wipe a lot of these properties out for somebody actually trying to do a real investigation. YouTube is more worried about the latest money snatch type thing. I have no problem supporting the channels I watch, but like it to go to them or at least benefit. Yeah, I mean, in terms of the ghost hunting, it would be nice for people to actually have the opportunities. And that's just, like I say, I mean, what, $2,500 for booking and for verification. Then you've got to travel there, and then you've got to sort of think about food and accommodation and all that stuff. So when you're talking about at least $3,000 for an investigation on a location that has no reports of haunting, by the way, as far as I'm aware, how does that help the smaller channels or the genuine channels? And it doesn't. And I kind of think, I'm not necessarily by YouTube, that's the point. It's the name. It's a bit like the criticism that gets thrown at debunkers. Oh, you keep covering the large channels for clicks and views. Well, duh. The debunkers have got to at least cover the large channels occasionally to bring the views in. They've got to get the clicks and views as well. I always find it ironic that that sort of accusation is thrown at them by people who are faking to get the clicks and views for money. But I think, but they will also think about thumbnails, and they'll think, yeah, if I say I've gone to the Conjuring House, or to the Warren House, or to Penitentiary, wherever it is, you're going to get more clicks and views because of the location. But also, I do think, and actually it's been proven by debunkers, that some channels will fake anywhere. There was this was a while ago, but Seg did one on Mindseed where they said they'd gone to a plantation, and he looked at the weather reports, and they were nowhere near a plantation. He'd done the same with Twin Paranormal, looked at the maps and thought, there's no way they couldn't have been where they said they were. I mean, some people don't, Look at Lee, look at Smug Puppy. Just stay at home and do it. Cuts down the cost, doesn't it? Bit of wire around the vacuum cleaner. Sorted. No, I've only had it in Ravens Live, actually. That was about 3 or 4 days ago. No, I wasn't either, Laura. I am a bit surprised it's that high. I thought they'd go over the grand, but not over the 2. And Joe was also saying they've got a load of fakers going in. Is it November, October? Maybe they're doing it for Halloween for a month, and they're all getting in for free. So the people who can afford it aren't having to pay. Sounds like something similar to what Sam and Colby did with the 20 YouTubers in the haunted town. I had to sit through Seg's video for that. Some of the most annoying YouTubers ever, all in one place. People should boycott it and go to places that are free. Laura, you're preaching to the con. I really wish people would do that. I really do. And again, I don't know. Maybe I'm just lucky because of where I am. You know, it would be easy for me to do that if I could get out and about. Um, as long as I didn't mind the weather and being outside for a lot of it. I mean, Mythos has done it near me. He went up to Winter Gibbet, which is not far from me. It's only 3 or 4 miles from me on the hills. It was very brave of him in the middle of the night because there's no shelter up there, no trees on the Cheviots. But I do think there must be a lot of people who have at least a few locations that they could go to for nothing. But you know, they want the names, don't they? You know, been to the Mackie Mansion or the Clown Motel or Conjuring House, and I get it, but I mean, I been talking to Caroline about Adelaide Haunted Horizons because I actually love seeing different locations being investigated, and Caroline was letting me know that because I love looking at the Australian ones, and apparently they've got a play. If you on Adelaide Haunted Horizons, they've got a playlist of their Australian locations. As a viewer, you know, as somebody watching them, it's nice to see different locations. I don't want to watch 30 East Drive for the 50th time. I didn't want to watch it the first time, to be honest. So yeah, let's see some new places. I'll probably be behind the chat because I'm ranting. Yeah, sorry guys, I'll try and catch up. No one's ever claimed it was haunted. It's the house, and what they've got is it'll end up being haunted. Oh, they're gonna build that up to a storyline. They'll probably take Annabelle into the house at some point, and Annabelle will end up haunting the house. It's the museum. It's the artifacts. It's all that stuff they got from a car boot sale, or what do you guys call it in the States? Swap meet, or a thrift store, or yard sale. No conjuring in that house, no. Yeah, somebody they're gonna find a way, Pom, of saying that the house is haunted. They've got to. I made it into Kenny's live, and the fatigue kicked in. Was awake, participating one, sleep sitting up the next. See, I can't sleep sitting up, but the minute I lie down, I can't lie down if sometimes I think, oh, I'll just listen to the live, but I know if I lie down, I'll be out like a light. Jonathan, hello, sweetie. How are we doing? If people keep paying those prices, the costs will keep going up. There's too much greed and tourist trapping. Yeah, that's what I mean. If they get away with those prices, everybody else is going to start charging them as well. You know, and imagine what whoever ends up running the Conjuring House, probably be more. And these verification fees. Give me a sec, guys. Give me just 1 sec. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, I think it will just see the prices escalate. I think you'll see more what's the word? Merchandise. I mean, I'm a nerd. I am 100% a nerd. You know, once I am on camera when I've got my new PC, if you haven't seen it already, I've got Funko Pops and Star Wars stuff, everything around me. I know how merchandise works. There'll be more and more merch. There'll be more board games. There'll be more escape rooms. You know, I don't know if any of I would interest. Are any of the uh fakers got Funko Pops yet? Because it will happen. Zach Bagan's got one. That's when you know we're in trouble. By the way, when you start hitting that level of merchandiser. Um. Did he? Did he? I don't know. I get distracted for a second and look what I get. You can come and investigate my house. It'll cost you one core pizza. Okie dokie. Lindsay, hello. Sorry, I'm going to have to try and crow the chat a bit. I would love to see someone with a famous place charge the big bucks. Do you know something? Yeah. Put on a price list, depending on how many subs you've got. All right? For each million subs, double it. Because that's basically what they're doing in reverse. They're saying the real channels are little channels. And even people like the Ouija Brothers who have got 140k, to them that's still a little channel, right? Yeah, so the real investigators would never be able to afford it. I think that's gatekeeping. That's why I watch twins. They're so unlucky. They're so lucky being alive. I know. Dicing with death every time they go out. Good afternoon, Sam Hain. Hello, how are you doing? Billy Creek here in Indiana was brought in as a tourist town to show how people lived and covered bridge there. They were getting less tourists, so they started Halloween. It's now become a trap. Yeah, that's the other thing that places do. There's a few around here, by the way. There is there's one or two local legends here that are very much tourist traps. So the locals will perpetuate them. Probably not as much since, we've had Harry Potter sort of getting the tourists in. Thank God the schools are back next week. Yeah, there's Adelaide Haunted Horizons. Like I said, if you want to see some different locations, Caroline said that I haven't looked yet, but Caroline says they have got saves me, because I'm scrolling through their feed at the moment trying to find the Australian ones. But they do have a playlist with all the Aussie ones on. I know that I think Caroline said they've done some in New Zealand as well. Have some places I want to get to. Yeah, but Ryan, you go to different places. I don't know if you've ever paid to go in anywhere, have you? And Ryan goes to some fascinating places, but he's not afraid of being outside. He's not afraid of going to different places and putting in the legwork to get there. Antique shops. Actually, put Ryan's link in the chat, because if you're not subscribed to Spookfest, please look him out, especially if you're interested in encyclopedic. He's going to be telling me everything I get wrong when I do the Chariots of the Gods series. Why would anyone go there? I think it's the museum. I think they've got something in the works. No, I think you can't book it till November, and I think it's October that Joe. I'm going by Joe's video here. That they've got a load of YouTubers going in October. Something will happen, guys, that will sell the place to people who think it's haunted. It won't just be the museum anymore. I think we can all see that coming a mile off. Pretty sure I can go through my basement and set up a haunted museum. That's about it. I have stuff that, could set up. I could actually, I mean, I used to deal in antiques and collectibles. I had years of going around car boot sales and charity shops, etc., to get stuff to sell in auctions. It would cost next to nothing to set up um, a haunted museum here. I mean, let's face it, how many charity shops or thrift stores have you been into that got a sort of bin full of dolls that are grubby because they haven't bothered cleaning them? Grubbier the better. Missing an eye, missing limbs. Sorry, I'm crying the chat a bit here. If it don't have history, then only imagination is the limit of what you could find in there. The other thing is, with the history, half the time the history is disproved anyway. So it's one of the things that debunkers do. It's one of the things that not just debunkers, ghost investigators do. I know Joe's disproved. It was the Conjuring House was one of the ones he'd looked at in depth. The whole Bathsheba thing. Oh no, my trackpad's playing up again. Hang on. On the night that Elton did a live announcing they bought the location, they raised 30k for Dan Rivera's family. They did mystery boxes they unknown and raised 60k for the non's family. I don't doubt sometimes. I don't know about Elton. Not really familiar enough with overnight, but I think one of the things that worries me about people who fake the paranormal, some people who fake the paranormal, because yes, we look at it quite rightly that you shouldn't do it. It's as I mean, I'm doing Houdini at the moment, and when he realised how it affected people, he I think his words are something like it borders on criminality. It's basically fraud, you know. If I sold a picture and said it was an original piece of work and I sent them the print, I can be done for that because it's false advertising. Of course, the problem you've got with hauntings is they can't be proven anyways. So, can't prove a negative. But I do think that there will be some of them will think there's nothing wrong with doing it. That's the problem. No, it's just a bit of fun. It's just YouTube. Let's buy some fishing wire. And there are others who blatantly do it and know that there shouldn't be. Sorry. Why is this started again? Trackpad going mad. Give me a sec, guys. Right, I'm back. Raven, hello. We just woken up. Yeah, Cree, I might have to be careful about highlighting stuff because the trackpad's going nuts, but they could raise that money in that shot. Yeah, you see, that's probably pocket change to them. Not saying it's not great if they're raising for family, that is, but there's I'm not saying this is what they're doing, because there's actually nothing wrong with doing this, but it's a common tactic that companies will use. When you watch, say, charity marathons on the TV and you see these big massive checks from a company donating, I don't know, £100,000 to, if UK, it's things like Comic Relief and stuff like that. I remember I used to work for a couple who worked for a company called Rank Xerox, and they used to say, yeah, it's in their budget. It's in their budget that they set a certain aside amount for charity donations. So one, it's good PR for the company, but two, they can write it off against tax. So yeah, it's always good if money's going in the right places. But It's still a business decision. Hang on. Oh, I thought this had stopped. Hang on. I'll get the live up on my phone and then I can read chat. Um, I keep saying it, we're going to have to get a mouse set up on this computer. So just getting myself up on my phone. Everybody's going to crowd the chat now, so we're even more behind, aren't they? Come on, let me back into StreamYard. There we go. Right. I don't know the lives they started doing. Yeah, I mean, I don't go into their lives, but people have been into a lot of these, the big lives that people like, sort of, Twin Paranormal and stuff. Yeah, they're making thousands each live. But they've got thousands of people in. It's all relative. Every place has a history, exactly. But people make up historical information, so anyone can buy a place and make up good stories, and I think that happens a lot. Personally, I do think that's. I do think that happens quite a bit. It's insane to me what Elton and even Twin Paranormal started doing lives, discovering that the donations will pay for their investigations, and all they have to do is stand and act like a fool for an hour. Basically, and they'll be raking it anyway. How they do it is up to them. The problem is, Pom, with fake paranormal, you are deceiving people to make the money. You are purposely deceiving people to make the money, and as a small business owner, I would be hauled over the coals for it. When you're doing it with intent, there's a difference, and the debunkers always try and clarify a difference with this. There are teams that go out that are still learning, so maybe they're developing bad practices but aren't actually faking or intentionally faking. But those that are going out intentionally faking in order to get the clicks and views and therefore the money and the donations and the merch and everything else that goes along with it, I'm sorry, but I agree with Houdini, that's borderline criminality. But it isn't. Thank you, Raven, for putting Ryan's, and Debbie for putting Ryan's link in. Still having problems with this computer. I love when people go to new places. It's always very interesting. Me too, Pink. I mean, there are one or two locations that I've got a fascination for. I mean, Virginia City, I actually love the ones there. What's the one called in Virginia City? The Washoe Club. I've got a thing about the Washoe Club, but I don't even know why. Unfortunately, most of the investigations at the Washoe Club are by the fakers, but I've just got a fascination with that history. I love my history. But yeah, I think that would help with the viewers, actually. It's like I say, that's why I was sort of asking about Adelaide Haunted Horizons, sort of a way of being able to narrow down all their Australian and New Zealand investigations, just to see somewhere different. I mean, if anybody comes up here, they go to Chillingham Castle, which is its own story, right? I won't say now. But and yet you can go, and that costs, that's not cheap. And yet there's all these locations around it that you wouldn't even have to pay for. Um, Plenty of free places with haunted history. So I'm not highlighting the chat because my trackpad's playing up, so that's why I'm not. Ryan says plenty of free places with haunted history. Just gotta look. Don't need to pay for a big famous place. No, you don't. You don't. But I know there's probably going to be investigation teams hear me say something like that and say, "Oh, so you don't know you're not supposed to ghost investigate?" Well, no, I'm not. But I do like watching them. To me, when these channels were doing their investigations, I was like, going knowing it's for entertainment, fine. But now that they do these lives, to me, that is taking advantage of viewers. Yeah, um, it's. But I think I've known enough cases of people, one with a very bad ending, when they've put their faith into these channels. If you're just watching it for entertainment, I mean, I suppose we could argue back and forth all day. People are just watching for entertainment purposes. That's one thing, but a lot of people watch for answers, and that's why they support. And there have been some very bad cases when people have found out that they're being lied to. It's actually why Houdini started debunking, because he used to more or less do fake seances himself as part of his show, fake mediumship. Didn't see anything wrong with it. He was a magician. That's what magicians do. They fake everything to make it look magic. But then, when his mother died, and he was grieving himself, and he realised how he would feel if somebody conned him into thinking those, which actually happened with Conan Doyle, whose wife was a medium and claimed to be speaking to Houdini's mother. And she says, "Oh, she wishes you Merry Christmas." And Houdini just turned around and said, one, because he was Jewish, and one, it says, "My mother was Yiddish, is Jewish, didn't celebrate Christmas," and two, she barely spoke English. That's why they fell out. But it was his personal experience that actually made him a crusader against fake psychics. Uh, yeah, that's what I think will happen, Pinky. Be haunted by bloody Annabelle. Uh, uh, there is some abandoned school near me, but I guess it's watched by security, very guarded. That's the trouble with abandons, said she who used to do photography. But um, I know that the UK channel Real Evidence is down to one, because I can't remember the guy's name. I'm sorry. Can anybody remember the Real Evidence guy's name that stayed? But the other ones decided not to do it anymore. He's burned out. So, and because a lot of what they did was abandoned, he's just like, he's having to do some reaction videos as well, because he said the thought of going around and doing abandons. He'd do abandons, so he didn't have to pay for it. He'd be on his own. There would be two of them. That makes it extra dangerous. Uh, um, Elton puts the boxes together himself. Not going to be okay. I have a long. See, I don't like people faking for money, but I have a long said that you're going to get people who have fake channels. Outside of that, they're probably, or don't do the ghost hunting properly, and doesn't mean they're necessarily bad people. And there will be real investigation teams who are gits. But I'm sorry, but for me, faking anything profit is wrong, especially when you're dealing with people's feelings and grief. Uh, Yeah, I don't think Sam and Colby are charging the earth. Dawson's been to the Sam and Colby school. Um, are you still allowed to go to? Are they still letting you go to the Axe Murder House? I thought there was something about that. Unless I got that wrong. Um, I'm just gonna wish I made 3 million. Yeah, I wish I made 3 million as well. Go Serena. Um, Pom, do you know something? I'm not disagreeing with you, but you don't know what people are worth. Um, First of all, people sort of look at Social Blade, and Social Blade's not accurate. Plus, um, the biggest of YouTubers, and actually in the paranormal field, that's Sam and Colby. They've got over 30, there must be nearly 14 million subscribers. So that's YouTube money. Then they have a massively successful merchandise range. They've now got the escape room. That's what they're doing, is because month to month you are not guaranteed anybody, whether you're Sam and Colby or whether you're me, you're not guaranteed your money. And of course, one wrong move and you're cancelled. But that won't be their only income thread. And to me, the escape room and the board game, first of all, they're being invested in, because I can think of a million different products I could make, or the people in the community could make, Crow could make, but the amount you'd have to put into it, people will be investing in them to do that. That means they're worth investing in. They'll have a investment portfolio, I can assure you. And they're only 30. That's why I think that the escape room and the board game and things like that and the school are their future. It's almost their retirement fund, if you like. Uh, Amy's Crypt. I don't watch Amy's Crypt, if I'm honest, Caroline. You do, Ghost Wiener. Like Ghost Wiener investigates. That'd be awesome. You've already got your channel name, see? I have just completely knackered the chat because stupid chat card. Oh, what's happening? Stop doing this. Please stop doing this. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm just gonna try and get the trackpad. If I time anybody out, I'm sorry. It's because the mouse is playing up. I don't know why. Hang on. Let me get my tablet. I'll just use my phone. I'll look at the chat that way. Hang on. Oh, I need to find me. Where's me? Live. Live. Oh, come on, the phone's not working now. Been jinxed. I've been talking too much trash about Annabelle. No, this is not working at all. Hang on. Why I even? Yeah, I am. Not even let me in on my phone. Okay. Give me a sec, guys. I'm just going to go into intermission. I'll put my trailer up. See if I can sort this out. I can't even find my trailer now. Where's my trailer? No, it's there. Right, I couldn't get it to work, so I put it with the intermission at the bottom. But I've got you up on my phone. What's the beeping? Is that outside? Who bought a place in the UK? Oh, Amy's Crypt. Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't watch Amy's Crypt. Nothing against them specifically, but apps. I don't do apps, so I'm sure they're positively lovely. Birdcage. A museum like setting, and some of the rooms will have the equipment in for people to use if they want to. Yeah. So I don't know what to say to that. I don't suppose it would hurt for people to be able to have access for a close look at what some of this equipment's like. At the very least. But yeah, I'll be diplomatic and move on. But again, it's like, I suppose it's the free market, really. You know, you've got a channel, you've got the money, you can invest in whatever you want to. You can charge whatever you want to. But, and I mean, I'm self-employed. You know, I run a small business, and I can. And you make money where you can. But I'm sorry, I think there's a line. I don't know. I spend all my time sort of trying to say, you know, we need to be taking the paranormal seriously. We need to be getting to the point where we can look at the paranormal more. We can get the funding, etc. And all that's happening now with, you know, escape rooms and board games and, you know, supposedly haunted locations where people are charging the earth, B&Bs and all that stuff. That's not going to get it taken seriously. That's just going to throw it further down the rabbit hole of it being rubbish and not being taken seriously at all. Essex. Well, I suppose it's close to it's easy access from London, but without paying London prices. Although I'd imagine it would still be expensive in Essex. I think that's where P&C are. They could go and have a look. People are making locations into B&Bs because of zoning issues. Yeah, that is a way of that would happen here actually. If you're in an area that it's actually a big problem up here. It has been clamped down on a little bit. The town I grew up in, which is 8 miles away, when I first came up here in 2012, I didn't want to go back to the town, but if I'd have wanted to buy a house there, they were next to nothing. You know, small terraced house was next to nothing. But because they're next to nothing, they're actually snapped up for holiday homes. It's thrown the first time buyer or people who can't afford anywhere big can't find anywhere, because that's what happened. They have cracked down on it a little bit. They have here in my town as well. But yeah, the problem with everywhere being a B&B, slightly different issue, but you know, yeah, you could just have something as a B&B and then advertise it as haunted and just rent it out as a B&B. I'd be interested to see, because that Poltergeist B&B that uses the house from the movie actually has, it's in my video, I looked at the terms and conditions, absolutely no ghost hunting. Sooner or later somebody's going to do it and put it on YouTube, you know. But we have a town here next to the sea called Beadnell, and it's a very popular place for surfers because of the way the waters are off the beach. And I've taken 3 people separately there who've come up to Northumberland, and I haven't said a word. I've just taken them through the houses, through to the car park, to the beach, and each one of them, without any prompting to me, said, I don't like this place, I've got an eerie feeling. And I've always said that about that part of Beadnell. The village centre is lovely, but that part of Beadnell, and it's because they're all holiday homes, so technically you're aware that they don't have that lived-in look. It's almost like driving through Stepford. If the UK is abandoned long enough, someone wanted to move in, they could just take it. They can. Well, it can't. Yeah, squatters' rights. It can make it difficult. I don't know what they are, the squatters' rights. There's a whole row of old, and I think the 3-story terraced houses in Sunderland near the city centre. That basically, that's what's happened with them. Squatters have moved in, and it's not impossible to get them out, but there's a lot of legalities to get squatters out if they've been there long enough. So sorry, I was sleeping. Yes, I agree with Creed, Mariah. How dare you? How very dare you sleep? Paranormal is going. I can't work with the trackpad, so I'm reading off my phone here. Paranormal is going like most everything these days, commercialized. How can there be money made? It's not for the studies; it's for the money. That's right. And the more commercial it gets, and as soon as I saw the Simon Colby escape room and board game, I thought, oh, this. I'm going to need to monitor this. This is a dangerous route to go around. I'll probably do a video on it eventually. And everything that's happening, it's like it's snowballing. And I think the point I made in the video is if you just get one person out of 1,000 genuinely interested in the paranormal, that's great, but it's not good PR for the paranormal. Pians, I was just talking about you. Hello, lovely. Just topped in to say we're going to a party. We're from Essex. We live in Suffolk. Oh, from Essex. Okay. Hope you well. Yes. I'm always am. Feeling crappy. COPD kicking my ass. Tell me what sleeping's like. Yeah, tell me about it. Poltergeist house, that complicated, but if someone did that, they would get a giant fine. You would have to get a permit if you don't, you get in big trouble. Yeah, I mean, I think that's why they've been so blatant about it in their terms and conditions, Mariah. But I mean, it wasn't a zoning thing, but it's kind of what happened with the what's it hotel, the Cecil Hotel in LA. The Elisa Lam case, elevator case. You're not allowed to film in there. I've seen loads of people, YouTubers, film in there. They just do it sneakily. I think sooner or later somebody will do it. And I suppose what the owners can say, if somebody does do it and put it on YouTube, they say, well, we didn't have our permission. It's very clearly written in the terms and conditions. Yeah, I think it's long term, isn't it, Debbie? I think it's long term for squatters' rights. I don't know what it is, but you can't just move in and the next day say, "Oh, squatters' rights." Oh, I'm at the bottom of the chat. California's complicated. Yeah, it's like here. It's a bit like it's here. It's a case of people want the money, but the locals are like, hang on a minute, we need somewhere to live as well. And also, if you live on just a regular terrace street, I mean, one of the ones that I saw was the street next to the street I grew up in. It's literally just a row of very run-of-the-mill terraced houses, not very big. And they're charging about £1,000 a week for people to stay in them. If you bought it, your mortgage wouldn't be that. So they're raking it in, and they probably got it for about 60,000-70,000. That's nothing for a house in the UK anywhere. But of course, next door you've got people who do genuinely live there, and they're suddenly dealing with holidaymakers running amok. Raven's still trying to wake up. Me too, sweetie, me too. So when stuff does come out, trust those people, have a fine, or they go a permit. I suppose the argument would be from the owners. I'm guessing here, I don't know the ins and outs. I'm guessing the argument would be from the owners. Well, it's in our terms and conditions. We didn't know they'd done it. Fine them. But I think that'll happen with the poltergeist house as well. You know, they say no ghost hunting, but they use Zach Bagans as a bloody referee. Um, and I think that'll happen with the poltergeist as well. Sooner or later, there'll be a story come out. You know, that poor little girl, Heather O'Rourke. Oh, yes. I mean, there was a few tragic. The older girl as well, the older sister in the film, killed by a boyfriend. There'll be some story come out of haunting. I'd put money on it. Carla, hello. How are we doing? I'm having computer trouble, so I'm reading my chat off my phone. Because this trackpad has a mind of its own today. It does not want to play. I missed a while of my ADHD. Just scrolling down on the computer. Can't get that comment off screen. No. Mouse no working properly. What time is it? I've been an hour and a half. I'll take it up to 2 hours, guys. Sheila, hello. Love you, precious Sarah and all chat family. Fell asleep at 8 a.m. Just woke up. But going back to sleep, wanted to say a big howdy, bless you. All the hearts means the world to me. I am so pleased to see you back, even if it's briefly. Did message you yesterday. So was I now a character on your record? Yes, you were. Carla, I tried to get as many people in as possible. I put you in the, I think it's on the thumbnail actually. I put you in your long red cape. If you want the clip, let me know actually. I'm fine if you want to use it. I was trying to squeeze as many people out of the community in as possible, and not everybody always gets included including stuff, you know, because limited time. So let's get everybody in there. Sure, I'll probably miss somebody, because that's the trouble. There's bound to be somebody that says, well, actually, I wasn't in it, but it was you. Well, thank you. Please, I think that was it was one about the echo chamber, wasn't it? Me being Saki. Oh, I'm so happy to see Sheila. Oh, I hope you're doing all right, my precious. So nice to see you in chat. Let's have some hearts for Sheila, because she's been through a tough time. We work on, yeah. She's been keeping tabs with Sky and keeping up to date with me, but it's the hearts for Sheila. There we go. I love that so many of them are purple. That's awesome. I love you guys so much. Hey, all you awesome people. Again, Ryan. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do mine in blue. Blue. That's a pretty blue on my phone. It's prettier than on the PC. Actually, it's not very. Guys, by the way, mods. I've got no hope of doing any moderating. So anybody causes trouble, you're gonna have to be on it. Because I can't mod on my phone. Oh, did you? Just tried to show a comment. Somebody been held by another moderator. I love my mods. Sit back and relax. Ding, ding, ding. I know that's a miracle, actually. I am surprised I haven't got further behind the chat today than I have done. So thank you, Mike and Debbie. Mod power! That's what we need. Because you never know. You never know when somebody naughty is going to come and chat, not naughty in a good way. I'm getting hungry, guys. I've got ages till dinner. I've made a paprika beef stew for dinner. And the bloody oat smell's going to start wafting upstairs soon. Make me even more hungry. Speaking of naughty, has James popped in today? No, I haven't seen James today. When did I see James? He's deserted me. I saw James somewhere. Might have been in John Boy's chat last night. Having a Claire, Sarah. I wish. I wish. Have I been in a live this morning? Nobody's been live this morning, have they? So it must have been John Boy's. Because I didn't make it into Kenny's or Adelaide's. He's not being fit. No, he wasn't feeling well last night. Poor thing. Yeah, I think he put it up because I put the link up last night, and I think Caroline, it had literally just popped up, and I went onto my channel to make sure it was there, and Caroline had already put first, and James had put just the F. Wasn't in Wizards. It's probably not very well, Paul. I'm having chicken and corn soup with bread and lots of butter. Ooh. Ooh. Chicken and corn soup I could eat. I'm not a big fan of chicken soup, but yeah, that sounds nice. Just had some pumpkin bread. I have never had pumpkin bread. Pumpkin isn't a thing here. I have to try it when I come over. Unless I see some here, but then probably isn't right. Yum pumpkin bread. I don't know. Any of the Brits? Does somebody eat anything pumpkin-y? See, everybody's going, oh, pumpkin bread, yum, and I don't know what it tastes like. I'm jealous. I'm very jealous. Guys, remember, I can't operate my computer, so I can't moderate, but Justin's in the chat. Hey, Justin. How you doing, sweetie? Actually, it's a shame Sponge isn't in the chat because I'd grass her up for she was cheating on you with Seg last night in my live. Told Seg how much she loved him. Just saying, don't want to stir any trouble up here. Let's hammock up, says Mike. Can't stop long. Just popping in. Stand down, mod. Stand down. Yeah, just wield those wrenches just in case. Oh, Justin, are you back at work next week? Because I'm elated the kids are going back to school next week. Get the little Harry Potter munchkins out of my way when I'm in town. Raven says, I got my timeout thingy ready. Yeah, you got to be careful. Raven will do it for the hell of it. She likes timing out content creators. It's her thing. Kids is not back at school yet. No, they go back in the first week in September here. Depending on the school, it'll be sometime next week. You know, the poor teachers are being made to suffer teacher training days, which are the worst. Yeah, back at work. Year ones. Oh no! Have fun. Oh, I'm so pleased to be out of education. Can't tell you. Um, Carla, I can't highlight that because I'm not on my computer, but thank you so much for that. You are a treasure. I really appreciate that support. Thank you. Um, I'm liking your walkarounds, by the way. I am a lurker when it's that late at night for me, but I have been watching, and I love your town. I really do like the look of your town. I find it fascinating. Please do keep doing those. Daughter went back first. Yeah, the Americans always go back a lot sooner than we do. Um, the place you live looks awesome. Um, give me demons and Ouija boards any day. That's not, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now that's the real terrifying. Um, could start releasing video the class where I almost died. Snotty infants. Yeah, that's a very British term. Snotty infants, not your kids. Oh. I mean, I didn't. Well, Rugrats, yeah. Oh, Carla, really not necessary, but thank you so much. Thank you, appreciate what you do for the community. I try. Don't think it's. I don't think everybody appreciates it, but thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. You treasure. I will try and let you know I'm lurking sometimes. It's just if you know what it's like. You go in and sort of people saying hello, and usually it's sort of 1 o'clock in the morning. I think when you go live, but I am watching. And I do like those videos. Once the tourists have gone, I'll go back to do 1 or 2 vlogs of my own, but I need to get through the town centre, and I can't walk very far at the minute, and the tourists just really set my anxiety off. So but see, my town's not very exciting to me. I know it is to other people, because, big castle, etc., but I actually love it when I'm looking at places like where Carla is. It's also why I want to go through Adelaide's Australian and New Zealand list. So places that where you don't live and they're different. Icy Ghost Cat says, "Rock on, Carla, you're awesome." She is. Caroline, I've told you before not to laugh at Justin. It encourages him. It would be great to travel to places. Yes, yeah. I'm already planning potential places to go if I get over into when I get over in 2 years. I'm determined. It'll only be health that will stop me. Yeah, and I'm trying to do it so that it's just in case it is the last time I get over. Make sure I hit all the bucket list and places I want to see. Paranormal Monkey, I ran a day home for 10 years. The ghosts are a good trade up from snot monsters. Demons are a trade up from the teens after that. Yeah, I've taught the teens. So I've taught 16 to 19-year-olds for the last few years. And don't forget, I also taught James. Hello, James. I taught James. Apparently. I'm doing local clips of Fall of Plum Close. It is, I get that, and we have been discussing sort of people, it's like where I am, and I think where Laura is as well, there's several nearby locations. I mean, there's about loads here if I could get out and about that I could go into. But what you're benefiting from, sweetie, is you're benefiting from somewhere that's genuinely interesting, and that people want to see. You don't need to be paying a fortune to go somewhere else when you've got it on your doorstep. I don't. I think it looks great. Kids are scary. They are when they're dressed up as Harry Potter, bloody Hermione and Harry. Carrying broomsticks because they've just played Quidditch in the castle. My kids are amazing, but yes. Justin was talking about going back to work. Chris says hello. I'm Carl. I've been searching for glasses for 10 minutes. What time am I at? Another 20 minutes. My adult kids are all amazing now. For a few years, not so much. My stepmom was a middle school teacher. Oh, that's a tough age. Was they on your head, Cree? I do that all the time. I mean, I'm only wearing one pair of glasses these days because I haven't got a car at the moment. But when I've got a car, I've got two pairs of glasses on them out and about because I have to wear long distance for driving. So, yeah, two pairs of glasses. One on my eyes, one on my head. But I've looked for glasses that have been on my head. That's why they always need blooming cleaning because they're sitting on top of your hair. Middle school girls are scary. Yeah, they're just getting ready to be angsty teenagers, if it's the same age for middle school as it is here. Pre-teens. Some are already sassy. Some are getting ready to be. That was yesterday, says Cree. Yeah, and hormones. It's kicking in. Today I apparently took them downstairs when I went to the bathroom. Odd because I never do that. But at least I found them. Yeah, I have a habit of not even finding them when they're where I always put them. Because I'm daft. I did actually quite enjoy working at a daycare at one point. Greetings, Sarah. My home timer, Ed Sheeran infected. Barely escaped it. Just really? Ooh. 12 to 15-year-olds. I see. Middle school here would be 11 to 13. Because they go to high school at 13. But still, actually, that makes it worse because they've already entered the teen years, haven't they? Me too, Sarah, because I refuse to wear bifocals. Yeah. I suffer from vertigo. I'd be screwed with bifocals. I would be permanently dizzy. My youngest daughter is my homie, though. Oh, that's good to know. Cree, I have to have a string on my glasses. I tried that and it just irritated me. Sarah, have you seen the cartoon Hasnin Hotel? No, I haven't. Has been. I'm terrified of germs now. I used to, but I had them like 3 years and they finally broke. Your daughter made you watch it. Sandra! Hope everything's okay, darling. I haven't said anything because I didn't ask if I could, but good to see you, sweetie. Please, hope you're both home. Who was talking about K-pop the other day? Somebody was talking about watching K-pop the other day. One of the channels. I got doing it so naughty. Who was talking? Oh, that's going to annoy me now. It's worse when you're looking for your phone only to realise I've done that with my keys. I have literally started driving off and my head has thought, did I remember to bring my car keys? I have to have a look at that. That's been makes Southport look like child's play. My goodness, shit, Sarah, I would swear you and I would be the same person in different countries. Can't draw a word of shit. We hear about so much alike. Yeah, I I'm terrible. I'm so scatty. I'm so scatty. He's okay, but keeping him in hospital, waiting CT scan results, but he does have a pocket of air on the. Oh, they're keeping him in. I hope you're going to get some rest on. I'm going to put some hearts in the chat for Sandra and hubby. An accident this morning. But at least if they're keeping him in, they're keeping a close eye on him. Yeah, got hit hard on his bike by a car. So I've had a good. Oh, sweetness. Oh, I don't like our Peachy being sad. There's not, and even if you're wearing stuff, it's no protection coming off a bike. I It's actually why I won't have one here, because it'd be too dangerous on the roads where I am. I really enjoyed the music and the storyline. It was like the old days, a lesson to learn. To look up some of this stuff. I'm so behind. I'm not down with the kids anymore. I have bloody time. Too much time on YouTube. It was his best. He's in the best place at the moment. Heading back in the morning. He's my everything. 37 years. He had a hematoma on his head. Oh no. Like I say, it's good that they're keeping him in. Then they can monitor him, which they would do for a head injury anyway. They should do for a head injury. Just to because you can't know straight away. But I'm sure he'll be fine. Hopefully you'll get some rest, sweetie. Definitely in the right place. Oh, I have a friend that rides his bike everywhere and has been hit 3 times now. He's almost been hit even more. He really got hurt last time. Yeah, that's what I mean. On a bike. That's why I'm going to get the exercise bike. Thank you everybody from Sandra. Icy Ghost Cat says, sending your hubby healing energy, Peachy, also for you. Yeah. Hearts for both of you. Oh, Little Miss Mayhem, look at that. Sending hearts from the lurky curtain, Sandra. Oh. Chris says, hello, my friend only rides in the bike section and still people don't pay attention. It's scary. Yeah, the only way I'd have a bike is if I didn't like the town, boring town to live in, but where we used to live nearer to Newcastle had bike tracks all around that were nowhere near the roads. But I wouldn't go on a bike here, even if it was flat and it's bloody hilly. The roads are too narrow and too many boy racers here. Literally race around, and I'm not talking about tourists now, I'm talking about locals, literally race around the town at high speeds. Hubby is a safe rider, but this old person came out of nowhere on the roundabout, cleaned him up. You're so wonderful, it helps me more than you know. Oh, it's good to know, sweetie. It's good to know. Sending love and light from Caroline. It's that you can't do anything about it factor that always frightens me. That's what happened when I had my bad car wreck. That's what frightened me the most, actually. There was no way of avoiding it. And, because I didn't do anything wrong. I was stationary in traffic, and lorry that wasn't looking where it was going ploughed right into the back of me. That's the most frightening thing. Doesn't matter how careful you are. It does. When I was learning to drive when I was 17, and my dad was teaching me. Best piece of advice that he gave me was assume every other person on the road is an idiot. And the only other times I've had problems is when I'd forgotten to follow that advice. I want to say, Carla says, I want to say thank you again and much love to all of you. I always try to catch Sarah's morning live with my coffee before I start the day. Oh, sweet of you, Carla. No problem. And tons of love from Carla, Sandra. Getting ready to head out of town for a bit. Hope you have a great day, sweetness. Hope you're doing something wonderful. Not far, but a 45-minute drive. That's not too bad. As long as it's not bad roads, stupid people in the way. Raven loves. Is Raven awake? She's fallen asleep again. Or she's still got the wrench in hand just in case Justin's still here, because, would not surprise me. Sheila Creates, hello. She says, I hope you're all doing well. Raven says, I'm awake. I'm awake. Catch you all again in the chats. I think Laura's live with Carla tomorrow night on Chick Chat. Raven says, I sleep with my wrench. A wrench under a pillow, just in case. Sandra says, thank you. I feel the love wrapped around me. It actually helps me. Big love to you all. Aww. You need a wrench for some of those zombies, Raven. Those spiders. If you're still fighting them. They were icky. Yeah, keep us updated. I think I'll be joining that chat. Sandra, I can only imagine. Hopefully you'll be able to rest a bit, says Pam. Yeah, I hope you can get some rest. I'm trying to think. What time is it here? Oh, what am I doing? My mouse doesn't work. It's 4 o'clock here. Oh, it's late for you, sweetie. Yeah, try and get some sleep. Please. Fantastic says, try and get some sleep. Raven, where do you live, if I may ask? She lives in front of a computer gaming. Sweden, where I've never been. I live in front of my computer as well, Raven. So I actually got up this morning and I realised that as soon as I get out of bed, if I don't need the loo, I could just literally come around to the desk and sit down and go on YouTube. What happened to me? What happened? I can guarantee just before I go to bed, I'll still be sitting here. So with the tourist gone, I really need to get out more. Sandra says, been at hospital for 7 hours. I just need to get the onion smell out of my house. I was cutting them but ran outdoors to hospital. They were still on the bench. Oh no. 7 hours, that's a long session. Maybe it's the first thing I do, turn on the PC, go to the loo, then back to the PC. Yeah. Oh, actually, I also make coffee. I need to fill the kettle. Deb says, you don't take your phone to the loo? It's been known, Debbie. It's been known. It's 3 o'clock in the morning in New Zealand. I'm not going to be on for much longer. I'll take it to the 2 hours. People will be sick of me after doing a live last night as well. If I'm not at a computer, I'm on my phone or playing games on a console. See, that's me. If I'm not at the computer, I've got my phone with me. Make sure I'm keeping up to date with everything. I'm obsessed. Quick walk at the outside. Ooh, what's that? I miss my car for getting outside. Raven says she doesn't. Debbie says she doesn't. Yeah. It's cold outside now. Actually, it's been a bit hot here today again. This is supposed to be over. What's it playing at? It's not supposed to have any more of this pesky heat. And they're now threatening some for September. Haven't we run out by now? It's not really cold, but it's Raven level cold. I wish it was Sarah level cold. It's not too bad in the house though, so I think it's clouded over a bit. It might not be so bad. That sun's still hot though. How rude of it. What's the date today? Is it the 30th? So on Monday it's September. It needs to sort itself out. Definitely needs to sort itself out. Right, guys. Sandra, I want you to look after yourself. And we're thinking of you. If I can get my mouse to work. This is going to be an interesting way of trying to end the live. Oh, I've done it. It's almost perfect weather here. We could feel autumn in the air last week, but it's been a bit warm today. But it's definitely on its way. Thank goodness. Debbie says it's raining again. We got proper flooded yesterday. Oh no, came in your back door. Oh my goodness. I haven't had that much rain. Oh no. Pam's got to go into outside. No. It's 18 degrees and I'm cold for some reason. Might just be because the temperature's dropping. I think you've sort of realised how warm it's been. Hopefully. You're not sickening for something. Sheila says we've had fall light weather here and I love it. Yeah, we had it last week. I loved the when I was getting the deliveries from the food deliveries and stuff. I was going, oh, it's a bit colder today, and I'm like, I'm loving it. I'm sorry, but I just loved it being colder. I need to move to a warm country. I like my seasons though. Leaves are starting to fall. I don't think ours are starting to fall yet. I'm hoping that they don't start falling before they fully turn, so we get the lovely colours. Grounds to dry, force it to soak. Too dry for it to soak in, so it sits on top. Oh, so it's not even going into the dirt. Miss Mayhem says, I love the cold, so definitely looking forward to summer ending. Yep. I want to go back to bed so bad. But you can go back to bed for me, because I'm literally about to shut down the live if my mouse lets me. My trackpad lets me. Oh, which it might not. Hang on. God. I'll be live forever. I think Raven might have cursed my computer. I'll have to stay live forever because I can't end the stream. Right. Thank you everybody for being here and for putting up with me waffling on again. I'll try and get this computer fixed, or at least get a. You'll be live forever. Same here. So I can never live. I would get so confused, apart from anything else, if we didn't have seasons. I love my seasons. I might piss and moan in the winter and summer, but I love my spring and especially autumn. Right, guys. If I can press this button that says play outro and end stream, I will. So hopefully it's toodles.
Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go.